Hello and welcome to Justice. I'm Judge Jeanine Pirro. Thanks for being with us tonight.
We're looking at here the Clintons. They just won't go away.
You know, justice is about accountability and consequences.
And what I wanted to talk to you about tonight is Hillary, obviously, and her intent, it would seem, to finally ascend to the throne that she felt was rightfully hers in the past and probably still does.
Justice occurs when truth is put to the lie, when the facts and not the politicians tell the story.
When Hillary ran against Obama, she broke the rules. She was so arrogant, she broke the rules. Number one rule was kill them early.
And this week, a bipartisan Senate committee, Democrats joining Republicans, issued a scathing report blaming Hillary Clinton's State Department for deaths that were preventable.
You might notice she's quiet right now. She's got a problem. Benghazi. Jeff, you remember this rule? Remember the old rope-a-dope we had?
Oh, sure.
We'd tell Bill, he'd get out there and mess up and get caught. We'd say, go to rope-a-dope. Get in your corner. Let them beat on you, but just shut up. And you know what? In time, there'll be a tornado, a hurricane, an earthquake. 6, 8 weeks later, come back out and everybody will have forgotten. She's using all of this junk going on now, which is totally an act. She's using all of this to keep quiet. And by the time we get through the Obamacare, the budget battle, and all this other stuff, the American people have forgotten about Benghazi.
Why? To mislead us just weeks before a presidential election. Where I come from, the manufacturer of that lie is called a conspiracy. And when the Intelligence Committee said that the deaths were preventable, they were saying that the attack was foreseeable, that the deaths did not have to happen, that they should not have happened. And in doing so, the committee put the responsibility directly in the lap of the Obama administration and Hillary Clinton.
She's beyond vindictive, this woman. She is.
Tell me about it. Ask me about it.
She's well, I know. She's a killer.
She, in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Now, she might not do it, but give her control of the CIA, give her control of rogue government groups,
sure,
independent contractors that we've got today.
Yeah.
You telling me?
You can look in that woman's eyes and figure it out, and look at some of her reactions. It's all there, right there.
People, though, are so afraid of you that your name is not even mentioned in the review by the Senate Intelligence Committee.
Hillary, how's her health?
Probably fine. She's too mean to be otherwise. Yeah, I assure you, if she had any condition at all, it would be highly publicized. And if she did have a condition, she'd probably make sure whoever found out about it never practiced medicine again.
Now, you remember her, the woman who was going to get to the bottom of this by appointing an accountability review board that would never interview her. I know you remember her, the Secretary of State, the one logging all those miles, unable to appear before congressional committees because she was traveling, because she had the flu, because she fell, and because she had a concussion.
She's going to leave Hillary king or queen, and she will take the power. And folks, Bill Clinton will tell you. I mean, look, Bill Clinton was an inch deep and a mile wide, but he'll tell you Hillary's the meanest woman you'll ever meet in your life, the meanest person.
Just ask Vince Foster, right? If he was
yeah, but look, go to Benghazi.
And when she finally does show up, she says she never saw the cables sent to her personally, signed by the ambassador, foreshadowing not only how they would die, but the very groups that would kill them.
Those 4 guys died. What did you see her say? Hey, come on, they're dead. That's
right.
What she thinks of life.
Well, look at how she reacted to the the brutal butchery of Muammar Gaddafi. I mean, come on. She was damn near laughing out loud.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. People have no idea what you're fixing to get.
And then, Madam Secretary, you show up 4 months later after everyone else has given their version of the facts so that all your ducks are in a row. And your efforts that night?
It turned out we had people getting over that wall in Cairo doing damage until we got them out. We had a serious threat against our embassy in Tunis. I had to call the president of Tunisia and beg him to send reinforcements, which he did, to finally save our embassy, which could have been a disaster.
On the phone with Tunisia? What did I miss? Who died in Tunisia?
It's not
what's
pretty.
She gonna do?
Yeah.
No, and it's not going to be pretty when she gets there. If it's not stopped, she's going to walk into the perfect government, Jeff.
For her.
People are going to be trying to live on 20 hours or 29 hours at $7 an hour. Well, still worker bee. Communist worker bee deal. Central Committee. Central Committee has worker bees, right? When worker bees get old, what do?
What difference at this point does it make?
As the Secretary of State, your job was to protect the people in your charge. You are responsible for their safety and their well-being. You knew they were receiving danger pay because it was a dangerous area. You knew how dangerous this part of the world was. Hell, when you went to Benghazi, you had the Defense Department pre-position assets off the Libyan coast in case you needed rescue.
The killings.
Too many. I don't know what the ultimate death list turned out to be, but probably close to 100.
Well, around me, and I'm not saying the Clintons killed them, folks.
No, we never did. We never did.
But they died about to testify or to come forward with me, and it was 52.
So most
More
of
people,
them, yeah, just for our listeners, most of them were tied with you in some way, shape, or form.
all of them.
Oh, my.
And they all died. All of them died mysterious deaths, like shooting themselves in the back of the head twice with a shotgun.
Yeah.
Cutting their hands and their feet off, setting themselves on fire and
Yes,
throwing
I
themselves in a
remember.
dump.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Now, for those of you that say, well, gosh, you say you didn't say the Clintons did that. You got to remember the Clintons, Hillary Clinton's daddy was Hugh Rodham. Who was Hugh Rodham? Hugh Rodham and the former House Ways and Means Speaker, Dan Rostenkowski, a guy that I testified and got put in prison. Dan Rostenkowski and Hugh Rodham took over the Chicago mob from the Capone organization.
Oh, really?
That's why Bill wanted Hillary, because he had the mob money. That's why whenever you mentioned Bill Clinton during those days, what did you talk about? Dan Laster, cocaine. Nina, cocaine. Tyson, cocaine.
Yeah.
The
Wow.
boys on the track, cocaine. Well, those people made a lot of money with the Clinton being president. And you can bet they'd like to have their turn again in that power.
Now, you say she lost to Obama. Was a deal cut back then, Larry? I trust you more than anybody on this. Was a deal cut with her? So, okay,
Yeah.
Hillary, you sit out for 8 years, you can get it?
Yeah. I mean, they had to have Bill in the general election,
Yeah.
and that was the deal. They cut Hillary in. It was a deal. Made her Secretary of State, gave her independence. She went out, built her track record, and that's what it was all about. And I did the stuff for the Clintons. Folks, all I can tell you is the truth, and it ain't pretty.
But what happened in Benghazi was foreseeable. You had a duty and a responsibility, and they relied on you. They asked you for safety and security. And you breached not only that duty, but you breached the public trust that we have in our government. Now, I am a prosecutor. I have spent my career in the assignment of blame. And I know you won't be prosecuted for any of this, and your boss won't be impeached. But remember this: justice is about accountability and consequences. The facts have now been told. The consequences have yet to be determined. And in the meantime, we continue to wait for justice.
Well, you're right, she's going to step in the machine that she will drive this country to wherever she wants to. Wow.
And you know what'll be left when she gets there? A handful of ultra-rich Gates and whoever. That's why I say, watch out. She's walking in to the most perfect scenario for the most perfect animal witch to ever have. You know, it would take a saint to take over after Obama. And somebody really had to be a saint to step in.
Right.
She's not a saint. She will use it. Well, you know, we got maybe one chance in a million, which is the Tea Party.
Genuine grassroots, some real people wanting to do some real work to try to do something to this country and take it out of the hands of the machine.
But there's no direction. I mean, people know things are wrong. God love them. You know, the only thing that's going to save America, technically, is what happened in Egypt. People just going to have to get out in the street. You know, people just going to have to recall.
Well, they're going to have to get out in the street, literally, and die.